CNN did a story on this. Now it's everywhere. It's a report by the Tax Policy Center. They analyzed John McCain and Barack Obama's tax plans, and they came up with very interesting conclusions. And the conclusion is, no one should be surprised by this, it turns out McCain's plan winds up helping the rich. No, really? You don't say. And Obama's plan winds up helping the middle class, the lower class, and everybody else. Now, you frame it this way, and that seems to be basically a win for Obama, because that's how he's framing it, and it turns out he's right. And so Obama's staff said, look, we have some issues with how they characterize it, but overall it looks like it's about right. McCain's staff says, oh, well, I don't know about this. The tax policy said, but yeah, we're going to cut taxes. That's what he said, and we're going to cut them to the bone. I actually, when you break it down, have a problem with both tax cuts, because if you do McCain's plan over the next 10 years, that's going to put us $4.5 trillion in the hole. That's $4.5 trillion more in borrowing we're going to have to do to cut taxes. It doesn't make any sense. We're borrowing money we don't have to cut taxes even further than Bush cut them. But even under Obama's plan, we're cutting taxes by $3.3 trillion over 10 years. I think that's indefensible. Why do we have to keep cutting taxes every single year? Eventually we're going to get to like negative 12% tax, and we're still going to be like, I don't know, let's do some more tax cuts. But we don't have the money. We're borrowing the money. So I don't agree with either plan, to be honest with you. But when you break it down, here's how it breaks down into different categories, and this is really interesting. If you're making over $2.9 million, John McCain's your man. He's going to save you. The difference between his plan and Obama's plan is a $971,000 difference for you. Okay, so if you're making over $3 million and you say, I don't know, I got to vote for McCain, I hear you, man. I feel your pain. All right? So that's the first category. Second category is above $603,000. Once again, McCain's your guy. The difference between him and Obama is that $161,000 in taxes, extra taxes, on average. Okay? If you're between $227,000 and $603,000, then it's only about a $7,883 difference, so almost $8,000 difference that McCain gives you an advantage. But there, even for that category, which is very wealthy, $227,000 to $603,000, Obama doesn't really increase your taxes. He increases your taxes, according to this independent analysis, by $12. $12 is nothing. So he pretty much keeps your taxes even. Although McCain would give you a tax cut of about $8,000. Okay? Why do people make it $225,000 to $600,000? Why do they need an $8,000 tax cut? That's mental, man. That is so crazy. We're going to borrow money from Saudi Arabia and China to give people making that much money an extra $8,000 in tax cuts? I think that's crazy. But here comes the most interesting part. 161 to 227,000. That bracket, still very rich. Obama is giving you nearly a $3,000 tax cut. McCain's giving you an even deeper tax cut, so McCain still has the advantage. But once you get to the category of under $112,000, Obama's tax plan actually winds up giving American people a bigger tax cut. Yeah, you heard that right, a bigger tax cut than McCain. And you know who's under $112,000? 90% of Americans. So if you're the richest 10%, I get it. McCain gives you a bigger, deeper tax cut and puts us in a tremendous hole in the budget doing it, right? And I understand your motivation. But if you're among the over 90% of Americans that make $112,000 or less, then you're actually going to get a bigger tax cut from Obama. Now, I don't agree with that plan. I don't think you should get any tax cut. I don't think we can do tax cuts when we don't have the money to support it. But if you're looking for, I got to vote my pocketbook, like someone just told me yesterday, right? I got to vote my pocketbook, I'm going to vote for McCain, then you're an idiot. Because unless you're super rich, you're actually hurting your pocketbook. Obama would help you more. I'm telling you, McCain has no cards that could help him in the deck. He's out of cards, man. He's drawn empty. He's got nothing. If he thinks he's going to win this election by appealing to people making over $3 million and saying, hey, don't worry, man, I got your back. I'm going to give you nearly $1 million tax cut on average. Good luck to him. Hey, he'll raise some money that way, but Obama's raising a lot more money from the grassroots and the net roots and so he's going to have the money advantage anyway. This is a losing strategy. So the next time you hear anybody in the street or, in your local town saying, hey, I don't know, but at least McCain's going to give me a tax cut, say to them, you have no idea what you're talking about. And this Tax Policy Center concludes, this independent group concludes that Obama's tax cuts are much deeper and more tangible for over 90% of the population.